January felt like a pretty good month for me, not because I made a ton of things, but because everything I made turned out pretty successful. It felt intentional, and the whole month felt pretty relaxing, which is great because at the beginning of the year, I promised myself that I would ease into the year, not overschedule myself in January. And I really want to keep it up for the rest of the year because right now, as of the end of January, I'm feeling pretty good about my sewing practice. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Izzy, and on this channel, I love to share what I'm making, what I'm learning, and what I'm discovering related to sewing. This could be garments, but it also could be bags or quilts. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through or share all of the makes I finished in January. Or one of them's not 100% finished, but I'm considering it a win and a finish. So this month I finished 4 garments for myself. I made two for Marianne. I made a bag for myself and a baby quilt top for a colleague who had a baby back in December. So in no particular order, because these are not in the order in which I finished them, let's go down the list. So first off, I finished a Stanton hoodie dress, and this is a cashmerette club pattern because it's an expansion on the Stanton hoodie, which is part of their regular pattern collection. I made this Stanton hoodie dress because I wanted to film a video or find the ultimate sweater knit dress or sweater dress for myself to wear on the cold days where I would be either working from home or just staying home or running a few errands. It's been incredibly cold here the last few days, and I have loved wearing these dresses around the house. It's been really good. So the Stanton I made from a jacquard knit from Core Fabrics. It's in a beautiful black background, but then it's got like brownish, almost like tree bark little prints in it, or little weaving in it. It's got lots of rayon in this fabric, so it's nice and drapey. It feels substantial. It was perfect for a snuggly dress. Now, I'm not going to go on and on about this dress. I will insert, I'll move over, I will insert pictures as I go, because there is a video out on the channel that came out earlier this week that you can go back and watch if you want more detail on this dress and the next dress I'm going to talk to you about. So I'm going to put a link to that video down in the description and somewhere up here that you can just tap on, and when this video ends, you'll get taken right into that next video. All right, so that was make number 1. Make number 2 is the Whistler dress by Love Notions. When I went for my search of the perfect knit dress, it was just a no-brainer that I was going to try the Whistler, simply because I've made the Whistler top twice and I absolutely love both of them, wear them a ton. I love the fit I'm able to get with that pattern. I love the really fun details or the style lines on this pattern, the fun pockets in the front. It's just a really elevated casual top for me, and I hoped the dress would turn into a nice elevated casual dress, and I think it has. This is another knit jacquard that I got from Core Fabrics. I got both fabrics on sale during their Boxing Day sale back in December. So this made these dresses not cheap, but definitely not as expensive as it would have been had I not bought the fabrics on sale. I've worn my Whistler dress already like 2 or 3 times since I made it to work from home. I just love how beautiful it looks up top when I'm on a Zoom call or a Teams call. I love the color on me. It's a fun white background, but with specks of color all over it. Yeah, super successful dress. I do want to make some changes to it, or try to make changes to it at the hem. So I'm not in love with how wavy the hem is, and I don't know if that's an issue because the hem band is too short compared to the width of the dress at the hem. So I had to stretch a lot to get it to fit together. Could be that. It could also be that my serger, I need to play with the differential feet a little bit more, but I'm not crazy about all the waviness. So I do have some of that fabric left, very little. I don't know that I would be able to cut a new band out of it, but if I do, I might try to see if I can make the band a touch longer so I don't have to stretch it as much to fit at the hem. If I can't, then I might take the hem off and just hem it up. We shall see. But I'm going to wear it a few more times before I decide what to make with it, because so far your feedback on the dress has been, some of you like it, some of it don't mind it, and I'm just talking about the hem because overall you all love the dress. So yeah, I'll just keep wearing it for a few more weeks, and then maybe I'll just alter it for next winter, because I am hoping that this really cold weather is going to be gone soon. All right, projects 3 and 4 this month were my Think Pink project. So that video went up a couple of weeks ago now. So again, I'll link to it below and up here somewhere. I got a beautiful rayon fabric with a black background and some gorgeous blue florals or blue flowers all over it. It is a stunning, stunning fabric. And to cheer myself up, because like I said, it's been cold and January is always very long and gray, and yeah, to cheer myself up, I made a spring summer set. So I made a skirt and a tank top. The skirt is the Easy Does It skirt. The top is the Rise and Shine top, both patterns by Pattern Emporium. Again, I'm not going to go into pattern reviews or lots of details here. You can watch the video if you haven't already. But needless to say, I cannot wait to wear this set. And I'm actually considering taking it with me when I go to London, or at least taking the skirt with me when I go to London at the end of March. Because I'm thinking the weather in London in March, although it could be very wet, it's also going to be a lot milder than what it would be in Montreal in the middle of March. So I'm thinking about packing that one in my suitcase and maybe wearing it to go to Stitch Festival. All right, project number 5 was my monthly project for Marianne, my daughter, who does the editing on this channel. So, well, half of the editing on this channel. And as payment for her help, I make her a garment a month. This month, I made her the Astoria sweater by Seamwork. I did make a muslin of it because it's a fairly fitted top, and yeah, I wasn't sure I wanted to cut right into the final fabric before at least giving it a shot, just because I've never made a Seamwork pattern for Marianne. Wasn't sure like where the like the waist and hips and all the measurements would line up or end up at, because Seamwork patterns are drafted for 5'8" body and Marianne is 5'5". So yeah, just wanted to give it a quick muslin basically. I used some remnant fabric from my stash. I had made some garments for myself and for my mom out of that fabric. I made a size extra small for the muslin, and she came over to try it on and couldn't even get it on, like at the sleeves. The sleeves were just way, way too tight. And I mean, the sweater as a whole is pretty tight fitting or form fitting. But yeah, the sleeves, she just couldn't get it on. So what we decided to do is I chopped off the sleeves and decided we were going to make it into a sleeveless top that she can wear with a cardigan or a jacket, because she was happy with the overall fit, even though it was a little tighter than what she wanted. So What I ended up doing is I reprinted the pattern in a size small this time and used a really nice pink rose kind of cotton jersey to make the second version, and that one, according to Marianne, is a much better fit. She feels very comfortable in it. The armholes are still a little bit too high, so I'm going to adjust the pattern to maybe like lower the armhole by a 1/4 inch maybe, or 1/2 inch, and see if she likes that better. But other than that, she really loves the fit. Now I did make a change to the neckline because the original one was just too high for Marianne, so I lowered it by 1.5 inches, I think. And yeah, I really messed up with the band. The band doesn't look great. Marianne did comment on that. So what I might do is just tell her to bring it back and I'll put a new band on it. I do still have some of that cotton fabric left over, so I'm just going to redo that. But overall, pretty successful top. She loves it, and now I can make a bunch of them for her in different fabrics, try and hack the neckline, maybe play around with the sleeves a little bit, but yeah, she's super, super happy. So that was Marianne's project for the month of January. Next, I made myself, finally, a Bestie bag. So I've made the Bestie bag twice already, twice as presents. So one for Christmas, one for a birthday. And I loved making that bag, so I was determined to make myself one for my upcoming trip to London. I had some denim leftovers kicking around the sewing room, so I thought, perfect. It'll be a neutral bag. I can take it with me to London, and no matter what I'm wearing, my bag is going to go with it. So here is my Bestie bag. So like I said, it's the denim. This is the size medium. So it's available in large, medium, and now they also have a separate pattern, I believe, to make a baby Bestie. So this is the medium size. I made the tie strap just because I did not have the hardware to make the slider or anything like that. Plus, you know, it's a casual bag, so that's fine by me. I used a rainbow continuous zip with a really fun little clover, I guess that's what it is, a 4-leaf clover as the pull, and the lining is a think pink cotton we got in our boxes back in the fall. I was never going to wear this fabric, so I've kept it for quilting or lining. I want to make a cute project dress a girl dress with this fabric eventually. So yeah, it's got the smaller pockets on one side, the big pocket on the other side. I did not put any zippers on the pockets. I know a lot of people are hacking the inside pockets with zippers, but yeah, this is gonna be just fine. So I am loving my Bestie, and I'm really thinking of trying to make this now in a faux leather to just kind of kick it up a notch. But I'm going to have to get hardware for the strap before I do that, because I would not wear a tied leather strap. So super happy with my Bestie, and hopefully I'll get lots of use out of it when I go to London. So yeah, super happy I've made it. And then finally, the last project I finished, so it's not 100% finished, but I've completed a quilt top for a colleague of mine that had a baby back in December, like I said. So the quilt top is all pieced, which was probably the longest part because, oh my goodness, there are so many small pieces to this quilt. It took me 2 or 3 evenings to just cut out the quilt. Like, there are so many pieces. And cutting is probably my least favorite part of this whole thing. But then once I got piecing, it was so much fun. It was like a puzzle. So the cutting instructions in the pattern, and this is a Art East quilting pattern. They're based here in Canada. I just love their patterns. I'm going to link to this one in the description because If you're a quilter, if you like little whimsical, really fun quilt patterns, then yeah, go have a look at that company because they are pretty amazing. So yeah, so in the cutting instructions, they basically give you like letters to go with each piece you are cutting. So, you know, if you're cutting 16 2.5 squares, this is your fabric A and B and C and so on. And there were a ton of them. So I really needed to be organized, make little piles, identify with the letters. But then the sewing instructions are like putting together a puzzle. So sew square A to a rectangle B, you know, blah, blah, blah. So you just follow the puzzle instructions, and it was so much fun to put together. So here is the quilt top. I'm gonna, hopefully, I can't take pictures of this thing in good lighting because it's been snowing and incredibly cold outside. So I don't want to take a quilt top outside where it might get wet and stuff. And the lighting in here is not great. So hopefully you'll get the gist. So the top square row has a cute little squirrel. And then everything else is these beautiful mushrooms. So if I try and back up a little bit, so you've got the mushrooms here, and then more mushrooms, and yet more mushrooms. So I am absolutely loving this quilt. Obviously, the focus is on Mr. Squirrel here. But my colleague, whose baby is going to be receiving this, is an avid forager. She lives in the UK, where you can find these fabulous red top mushrooms out in the wild. And yeah, I'm really hoping she's gonna love this. So I've now ordered some backing fabric because I didn't have enough in my stash that I really loved. So I'm just waiting for that to come in, and then I'm gonna prep the sandwich and quilt it and then package it up and send it off to the UK because that poor baby came into the world in early December. We are now in late January and he still doesn't have his quilt. So that's why I'm sharing the quilt top now also, because by the time my next makes video comes out at the end of February, this quilt will be gone. So I'll take pictures when it's all finished and I might share those, but you're not going to be able to see the whole thing before it gets shipped. So there you go. It was such a fun month, and I love that I was able to get lots of variety into my makes. So if I felt like working on a garment, I made a garment. When I wanted to make my Bestie bag, I just made the Bestie bag. And then there was also some quilting in there. It was just such a good month, and it was the perfect thing to keep my spirits up during this, like I said, really cold, gray, snowy, depressing month of January, which I'll be very happy to leave behind and move into February next week. All right, so tell me if you've watched any of the individual videos I'm going to link to, so my battle video or the Think Pink video. Thank you so much. I'm loving the feedback I got on both of those videos. So yeah, can't thank you enough. I would love to know which one of my finishes this month is your favorite one and why. So please leave that in the comments below. I would also love to know, what have you been up to? What did you make during the month of January? Please let us know down in the comments also. Thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a like on your way out if you liked it. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you soon.